All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I won't be on the live too long. But yeah, I think crypto right now, it's consolidating, or not really even consolidating, right? Because BTC was at, it crossed over 90K, it passed over 100. Now we're below 100K. I think we were like at 94, 95, but now it's creeping back up to 98. And I think it's just getting ready to explode going into 2025. And it's following the same pattern that we've seen year after year. And I think 2025 is going to be an explosive year. If we look at the history says that after the halving year is when we go parabolic. Now, we've seen some parabolic moves in some coins, so it's not like we're waiting for everything to go parabolic because we have seen some moves, but I think 2025 is when we see the real moves. So you got to be ready, you got to be prepared. Again, you literally got to be paying attention every single day when it comes to the year after the halving, because you're going to see things move. Certain narratives are going to move faster than others. And if you check out my past live streams on how to take advantage of this crypto bull run, getting into the fastest horse typically ends up making you the most money, because you could take those gains and put it into other altcoins that haven't moved yet. So you got to really be paying attention. You have to have your watch list ready, and you got to be ready to go. All right, so let me share my screen so we could look at some of these prices. All right, so BTC, again, it's at 98.6. It looks like it's about to truck on forward past this 100K mark again. And I just, it's inevitable. I'm not sure if we go higher first with BTC and then we see altcoins move, but I really do think in January we're going to see, BTC range bound maybe from that 95 to 105. And then we're going to see altcoins really take off. Again, my favorite narrative this cycle is the AI cycle, the AI narrative. And I think it's going to be the hottest sector to move going into 2025. We only have 6 days left, and it's going to be very explosive, right? So get ready for huge gains, in my opinion, but also be ready to take gains off the table. It's one of those things where most people will get used to every day seeing the price of cryptocurrencies go up 30-40%. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Merry Christmas. 2025 should be great. I have a good feeling about 2025, right? Typically for the last 2-3 years, you know how everybody says like this year is going to be great. I actually think this year is going to be great, right? I'm not typically a person that says that. I usually just work in silence, but I think 2025 investing wise is going to be great. Now, I do think we're going to go into some type of recession at the end of 2025. So, on one hand, I do believe 2025 is going to be great, but I think if you get too greedy going into 2025, I think you'll end up, either holding a bag or losing a lot of money if you don't take profit off the table. And that's what I was getting to. We're going to see huge gains in 2025 when it comes to crypto, but if you get too greedy, if you don't take profit off the table, you're going to be one of those people holding the bag, right? And just remember, this is how this thing works. Like, if you end up making a lot of money, it's because somebody else is holding. Now, that's not always the case. So a lot of these projects do bring a lot of value, but for the most part, they're going to go down when we go into the next bear market. Hey, Merry Christmas, man. How are you? But yeah, a lot of people are going to be stuck holding the bag. So if you're not paying attention, I would say from January all the way to April, you need to be paying attention every single day, right? And if you don't, you're going to miss out on some money, and you're also going to be holding that bag. All right, so let's take a look at some of these prices. Okay, so BTC is at 98.6. I think right now it's trucking towards 100K again, right? I think once we pass there, it's probably not going to go below that in 2025. We'll probably see below 100K, I would say close to the end of 2025. But I think after we break it again going into 2025, we're not going to see it until the end of the year. So just pay attention to those key levels. I think if, once we break it again, it's not going to go below that. Now, one altcoin that I'm actually, watching out for is Ethereum. All right, because typically Ethereum starts, the altcoin season. Now we have seen Solana kind of taken over Ethereum as far as momentum, but I think once Ethereum breaks its all-time highs, that's kind of when historically that's kind of when the altcoin season takes place, right? But yeah, so Ethereum sitting at 3,500. We're let's see, all-time highs is at 4,700. So we're like 1,200 away, but again, that's nothing for Ethereum. It could break that very easy, and I think it does that in January. So be on the lookout for that key level. Once Ethereum breaks all-time highs, you're probably going to see a lot of that money. Once people start to take profit from Ethereum, that's going to shift down into other altcoins, right? All right. What else? So Solana, right? Solana is one of those ones that it's competing with Ethereum, but to be honest, I I still think Ethereum takes the cake. I think Ethereum's going to be here, and I think Solana is going to be here as well. But remember, Ethereum already has its spot ETF, right? So what you've seen in BTC as far as the cash inflows, like if you go to the inflows of like the BTC spot ETFs, you'll see that, it's not slowing down. But if you go to the Ethereum spot ETFs, you'll see that a lot more money is flowing into those. So I think we're going to see what happened to BTC at the beginning of 2024. We're going to see that happen with Ethereum, right? We're going to see money go into those ETFs, and people are going to start to take a liking to Ethereum. Because you got to remember, Ethereum has the most developers, right? To this date, it beats out Solana. It beats out any other project when it comes to how many developers it has working on the protocol. So, that tells all. Sometimes you don't see the metrics up front because a lot of the times people look at the price and they're like, oh, well, the price is not moving, so they must not be developing or they must not be doing anything. And that's not the case. All right. Like these people are working, especially through a bear market. These protocols, the people that are working on the protocol, they're working throughout the bear market, and you don't see that until like the year after the halving when stuff starts to catch up. So it's not necessarily, since the price didn't move, they're not doing anything. You're going to see the price move in 2025. You said you think Ethereum, Sol, or Sui will produce greater returns in 2025. All right. So I think Sui, Sol, and Ethereum are both going to do good. Give me a second. I think they're all three going to do good. But if you really think about it, when you say like from top to bottom, as far as I always look at market cap, right? So Solana's at 95 billion. For me, Solana will be at 800 to 1,000 by the end of this bull market, and so realistically, you got a 4 to 5x, right? Now, if we look at Sui, to answer your question, I think Ethereum would do the least greatest return. Sol would do the second, and I think Sui would do the most. And the reason being, now we got to count the gains already that it's done, right? Sui already went up 4x, right? And this is, if you look at the past chart, this is kind of Sui's first bull market, right? So it really, if you look at the chart, there's no past resistance at all. So, it's just kind of like open. It could do whatever, right? It has no resistance to go again. And then also what it has going for it is this low market cap, 13 billion. Now, the only thing I don't like about Sui is its fully diluted value. It's like 4 times the amount the current market cap. So that's probably one of the only things that's holding it back. But again, I showed this last time when we talked about token unlocks. If we go to the token unlocks, a lot of SUI stuff is going to be released over time. So during this bull cycle, their supply is not going to be that bad, right? So it's not it's not the matter of, oh, the fully diluted value is, way higher than the market cap, because it won't matter for this bull cycle. So yes, even though I don't like that it's 4 times the actual market cap, it's really not going to affect this cycle, right? But if you're a person that says, hey, I want to hold SUI into the next cycle, you really need to keep this into consideration, right? Is it something that you want to be holding, for long term? I'm not sure if financially it's going to be the best. It could be, but looking at the fully diluted value, it's not. Hey, the game of cryptos. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, to answer your question, I think SUI could be 100 to 150 billion by the end of this cycle, if it really takes off. So that's a 10x plus. So I think SUI has the most upside just because it has the lowest market cap. And you got to remember, it's been catching a lot of steam. Like, a lot of people have been talking about SUI. Maybe you don't hear about it like on the news, but if you're on crypto Twitter, a lot of people are talking about SUI. I think BitBoy Crypto, Cryptos Are Us, a lot of people, a lot of crypto YouTubers are talking about SUI. And it's going to be one of those coins where once you make profit, let's just say off the AI coins, because I think AI is going to be the hottest narrative. I think a lot of that money is going to flow into those, those popular layer ones, like an Avalanche, a SUI, a Near protocol, because remember, it's a rotation, right? So money flows into BTC, then Ethereum, then like other L1s, and then like the hottest narratives, and then like meme coins, and then it kind of just recycles over again, right? So you have time to take those profits and put it into something that it's going to keep going up, like a SUI, like an Avalanche. So yeah, I think SUI, but I think they're all three going to do good. It just really depends on how much like the utilization of SUI takes place, right? Are people going to get sold on it? And typically that happens because, like, we saw it with Solana. The reason why Solana went up is because a lot of meme coins started taking off on Solana. And again, they have like the fastest transaction time and so on and so forth. But the meme coins kind of blew Solana up, essentially. So you got to make sure that they have a narrative that's going to take them. And I really haven't been keeping up with SUI, but I know it's a good layer one. I mean, I know that the people that work on the protocol are from Facebook, the Facebook Libra project. So I know they have at least a good team. But as far as building, I really haven't been keeping up with the project. So let's see. Again, I think so. Again, I spoke about these BitTensor and Render. I think these are going to be one of the some of the AI coins that take off first, just because they have a lot of a lot of notoriety, right? People know, okay, maybe not BitTensor, but maybe like Render, right? And then also the one that they combined 3 of them, which was Fat AI. Fat AI, yeah. So if it was Fetch, Singularity Net, and then Ocean Protocol. So again, and also, I don't know if you guys have been watching on Twitter, or X, but Elon has been saying, like, we're gonna need a lot of GPU power. A lot of big CEO, even Jensen Huang, said we're gonna need a lot of GPU power. So a lot of these decentralized solutions for GPU power, I think, are going to really, really take off, right? Even for the AI agents, like, that's a whole huge narrative now, but they need decentralized GPU power. So you always need to look at the picks and shovel plays when it comes to these altcoins and things like that, things that are going to fuel the narrative. It doesn't always necessarily need to be the narrative, but things that are going to fuel it are going to take off well. Duffy Newman, good morning. Merry Christmas to you, bro. Good to see you back on here spreading solid info. Keep up. Appreciate it, man. Happy holidays, Duffy. Happy holidays. But yeah, you guys, the new year is literally, six. I feel like this month has gone by so quick. Like, I feel like November was a little slow, but I feel like December just went by so quick. I mean, the 25th came here so fast. So, and that I feel like that's how it's going to be for 2025. Like, once we get into the new year, we'll see, you will see prices again. Prices are going to be going up 30, 40% each day. And it's just going to feel crazy, right? Again, you should have your strategy in place as far as your exit strategy on how you're going to take profit. I would say once you start getting those, once your portfolio, 3 to 5x, start considering taking, 20, 30% off, getting some of that money in cash and locking in profits, right? Because, you're going to be thinking like, and this is typically what happens, right? Like, if your portfolio goes up so much, you just get into this state where like, you don't want to miss out on more gains. But it's way better to take profit than to look back later and say, I could have taken that, right? I could have had this. And then you end up falling into the trap of like kind of settling for less because you just didn't start to take profit. And I think you don't have to sell all your position, but if you take a little bit of profit, let's say 10 to 15%, it's going to help you ease out later once your portfolio starts to go up a little bit more. So yeah, let me see. Anything else I want to share? Anything else? Nothing else. I think, like I said, BTC is shooting back up. I think it went down to 93, 95, and I knew I had a feeling it wasn't going to break 90. Like, and I think 90s off the table, like below 90s off the table. And again, I think it's just getting ready because again, let's go over the chart again really quick and look at past cycles to see what has happened. So right, like for me, we're on this up and up movement. And, even if you look at from 2020 to 2021, I mean, we really didn't have a pullback, a substantial pullback until like the beginning of January. But you got to remember the halvening last year, I think was not in April. I think it was in June. It says not financial advice, but I realized that BTC normally bottoms out in the next bear market a year after the time highs. If history repeats its tops in Q4 of 2025, the bottom of BTC should be Q4 2026. I don't. You said BTC bottoms. Are you talking about bottoms? Bottom of BTC should be Q4. Bottom of in the year after if the history repeats and it tops out. Yeah. Okay, I was reading that wrong. Yeah, tops out. That's what I think too. BTC tops out because if we look at the chart, it topped out in April, right? And it crashed, and then it hit its top again towards the end of the year, right? So 10, 20, 20. So it's like 3 months shy of the end of the year, but pretty much the end of the year. And then you said it bottomed out like a year later, which is true. Right. Exactly. And that's it's following essentially the 4-year cycle as far as like politics and the halvening and then, the election and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I agree with that. I think, but altcoins typically bottom out a little bit sooner than BTC. So BTC will bottom out close to the end of the year, but I think altcoins, it's right around that April to July time. And just again, it depends on what narrative you're in, because some narratives might run a little bit longer than others, and it might top out with BTC towards the end of the year as well. But yeah, I agree with that. The game of cryptos, I agree with that. And that's a good point, right? So, taking profit off the table and then waiting a year later. That's why I say when you take profit, don't try to go into another investment so fast. Take profit off the table and, sit with your money for at least 4 to 5 months so you could think about your next move. Because that's kind of, how I'm going to do it and how I did it this previous cycle where it's like, okay, I'm going to take money and put it on the back burner. And then once the market bottoms out, like a year later after BTC tops out, then you go in and start to buy BTC, right? Or you could start buying. The thing is, buying BTC a year later is kind of better because BTC tends to move before the altcoins, right? So you end up getting that price appreciation as it bottoms out, and altcoins kind of stay at the bottom, right? Because we really don't know the narratives, the hottest narratives for instance, for the next bull cycle. We don't know it until like a year before the halving, right? It doesn't become that apparent. Like AI cryptos, I think, were getting hot towards the end of 2023, or like that, maybe like that August through December. That's when like the AI narratives start to like really pop off, and people were like, okay, well, this is going to be the next narrative. So you could essentially get into some altcoins too, but I wouldn't take the biggest position. I'd probably be more allocated to BTC, a year after the top cycle for 2025, maybe like you said in Q4 2026, and maybe start accumulating BTC, and then start doing research on which narrative you think is going to be the hottest, and then slowly start building a position there. Because for instance, like you got to look at something like Render, right? If you go to Render, we really, where is it at? Where the hell did Render go? Oh, right here. Right. So again, Render, it right here, you probably didn't know about it, right? Like, and this was after the bull cycle of 2021, so crash. So right here, probably not much, but right here maybe is when like YouTubers started talking about it and it started getting hot. So you probably could have built a position somewhere right around here. Maybe that 49 cents through $2, that area, to catch this whole run up, right? And remember, this whole run up right here is not even the bull cycle. We're not even in 2025 yet. So this is all appreciation you would get, obviously, if you held it that long. That's like a 7 to 8x prior to us going parabolic in 2025. And then 2025 will probably give us an additional, like I said, I think Render could be, it's really still a low market cap. I get shocked when crypto YouTubers look at a 4 billion low, like $1 to $4 billion market cap project, and they're saying it's too high. And again, my theory on that is like it's not easily pumpable. Like usually when crypto YouTubers say like low market cap, they're talking about 20 million to 100 million, and it's easy for a channel with 100,000 followers to pump it up, right? So, but for me, if you look at the valuations for stocks, you see $100 billion companies all over the place. 100 billion here, 200 billion here. I mean, $1 trillion market valuations are becoming the normal. We have Nvidia, Apple, Tesla just crossed over again the $1 trillion mark. Who else? There's a bunch of other ones that are in the $1 trillion space. So it's, again, market caps shift, right? And you have to keep going. So I would remember I was trading stocks back in when I was in college, 2012 to 2015. What was a big market cap back then is not a big market cap now. So you got to make sure you shift, because there's always money. Market caps are always going up. So what was once a small market cap now is a big market cap. And or the opposite. What once was a big market cap is now a small market cap. Right, and then vice versa. So you need to make sure that you're keeping up with that as well. So I think of, 1 billion to $4 billion market cap is not that huge, right? Because if we have things that can go to 100 billion, in reality, Render could possibly have a 20x from here, depending on how hot the AI narrative, takes off and things like that. All right, but that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button, comment. I had to come on. I like to do a live stream every single day. It just gets me used to doing the live stream, and then also, just getting content out there. But I appreciate you guys. I will go live tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll talk about. I talk about something different every day, but it is finance related. And I appreciate it. But 2025 should be a good year for crypto. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.